The rain had just stopped when a truck pulled up in front of number 17 Great Field Close. The entire street was quiet, save for the low sound of water dripping from the roof gutters and the lazy flutter of a nylon bag caught on a wire. The black gate of the newly built 4-flat compound stood slightly ajar, like someone had forgotten to lock it properly. A few blocks away, a goat sneezed. From behind the truck, a small black Toyota Camry car with muddy tires came to a halt. The door creaked open. A man in a navy blue suit stepped out slowly. He adjusted his tie, brushed invisible dust off his shoulder, and pulled out a phone from his pocket. His shoes were shining like he polished them with anointing oil. He wore black shades despite the cloudy sky and walked majestically like one arriving at an international summit where he was the special guest and key speaker. He raised the phone to his ear and began talking loud and fast, as though arguing with the president of a country that owed him money. "Hello? Can you hear me? I said buy it now. Look, I don't care if the chart is red. That is when real traders enter. Did you check the candle wick? Forget fear, move the fonts." Right behind him, the car door flung open again. First came legs in 6-inch heels red like hot pepper. Then came lashes long enough to fan flies away. A purple dress clung to her body like it hold her rings. Around her wrist was a gold-colored bangle that jingled like bell for new followers. One hand clutched a branded nylon bag with the words "Glow Empire" printed boldly on it in shiny gold letters, and then a ring light on the other hand held like a staff of office. That was Stella Okafos, the wife of the man who came out first, Chuka Okafos. Behind them, 2 tired boys, probably relatives, roped in for the move, grunted as they struggled with cartons, heavy bags, and boxes. A few of the boxes had dramatic labels written with bold marker pens. Glow Empire premium skincare products, tripod stand, fragile, handle with care, content accessories. As the boys smashed into flat 3, their slippers slapped against the wet floor like broken promises. Meanwhile, in flat 2 of the compound, the window curtain shifted quietly. Behind the curtain, a pair of suspicious eyes peeped through the lacy window. Mr. Bayo Alade narrowed his eyes like a custom officer watching a suspicious bag. "Bimbo," he called to his wife quietly. There was no response at first, so he called again, hissing, "Bimbo." Bimbo, from the kitchen where she had just finished doing the dishes, strode into the living room and asked, "What is it?" "Seems our new neighbors are moving in today," he said. Bimbo joined him by the window. Then she smirked when she saw the woman. Is that the wife? This one looks like a social media person. No? See her ring lights now? And her dressing like she's about to enter Big Brother Naija house." Bayo laughed softly and said, "We have not even welcomed them and you have started." "But it is true now, can't you see?" Bimbo replied. Still, in the spirit of compound peacekeeping, they both stepped out of flat 2 and walked casually toward the new couple. "Ah, welcome, oh," Bimbo said sweetly, switching to her customer service voice. "You must be the Okafos, right? Good afternoon. You are moving into flat 3 bar? My name is Bimbo and this is my husband, Bayo. We stay in flat 2. "Ah, nice to meet you, Bimbo. Nice to meet you, Mr. Bayo," Stella replied with a smile so wide it looked like it was made for selfies. "I am Stella and this is my husband, Chuka." Chuka nodded, removed his shades and stretched out his hand to Bayo. "Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bayo. We heard this compound is very peaceful. My wife and I, we like quiet places and that is why we are here." Bayo smiled and said, "Yes, so very quiet, except when NEPA decides to switch to their other job of giving darkness instead of light, and Veronica in flat 1 starts a generator siphoning. But normally, you would enjoy it," he said. As the movers carried more boxes, one of the cartons suddenly burst open. Several plastic bottles tumbled out onto the wet floor. Some of the bottles were labeled natural half-caste organic cream. Others said glow butter, intense whitening. Bimbo blinked. Oh, you sell skincare? She asked with interest. Yes, so I do, Stella said proudly. Everything is organic, no chemicals at all handmade. I also teach online makeup classes and offer skincare consultations, she told Bimbo. Interesting, Bimbo said with a thoughtful smile. I also run a fashion brand. I sell designer clothes, ready to wear, imported from Turkey and France. And I sell beautiful human hair wigs too. Oh wow, that's nice, Stella replied, nodding with the kind of smile people wear when they were not really impressed. And you, what do you do, Mr. Chooks? Bayo asked. Oh, me? I do forex trading, a bit of crypto as well, and other online things. Quiet moves, Chuka said. What about you? Well, I am into automobile business. I sell exotic car parts and stuff, Bayo replied. Oh, great, Chuka replied as well. The couples laughed slightly, but it was the kind of laughter that hid subtle competition beneath friendly tones. After a few more exchanges, the Alades helped carry in the last few items and returned to their flats. Later that afternoon, another neighbor, Veronica, the one in flat 1, came to welcome the Okafos also. I would like to have your numbers so that I can add you to the WhatsApp group. The landlord assigned me to act on matters on his behalf for now, she told them. In a few minutes, Stella and Chuka saw their numbers added to the WhatsApp group of the compound. The group title says, Peaceful Residents of Number 17, Grateful Close. Immediately after adding Chuka and Stella, Veronica dropped a message in the group. Good day everyone, and we welcome our new neighbors. This platform is for the purpose of maintaining peace, giving updates, and addressing compound issues, she typed. The rest of the neighbors, the Alades, and Mr. Raymond in flat 4 went ahead to welcome the Okafos again. Stella was able to identify Bimbo's number in the group from her profile picture. She saved her number immediately, sent a direct DM to Bimbo saying hi first, and then went ahead to spam her inbox with lists and pictures of her skincare products. Everything was peaceful and seemed quiet and okay thereafter, as the Okafos put things in order and settled into their new flats. But by the evening of the next day, the compound changed, and the silence that once lived there began to pack its bag quietly. At 7 p.m. on the second day, flat 3 had turned into something between a photo studio and a broadcasting station. Music floated from Stella's room. She was doing an Instagram live, holding a ring light like a professional news anchor. Hey fam, she shouted excitedly. You won't believe what just came back in stock. Our signature black soap with gold dust. Limited quantity, oh. If you don't order now, you will cry tomorrow. Click the link in my bio to order or send me a DM ASAP. From inside flat 2, Bimbo frowned. She didn't say a word, but her expression said everything. Bayo, her husband, glanced up, saw his wife's face and laughed, saying, My dear, don't let it bother you. First week energy. Don't worry, she would calm down. Then outside, Chuka also was sitting on a white plastic chair in front of his compound, with a laptop on his laps, legs crossed confidently. Every few minutes, he would tap the keyboard and speak into a headset. Check the markets again. Use the new indicator I sent you now, eh? I don't like slow decisions. This is not the time to panic. Buy the dip now. In flat 2, Bimbo frowned again. What happens to his living room or inside his bedroom? Inside no Risham. Why sit outside to work for work that is online? Rubbish. Just show off, she said, hissing. These new people, let's just hope they won't stress this compound though, she said again. Bayo said nothing still and only let out a small laugh. But it didn't take long for Bimbo to draw a few conclusions in her mind that the Okafos liked attention, that they dressed loud and moved louder. So, The silent battle between the Alades and the Okafos began. It started with a horn 2 days after, a long, loud, frustrating car horn that echoed through the compound like a trumpet of war. "Please, who was this black Camry? Can't you see it is blocking me?" a voice shouted. It was Bayo. He stood by the gate, hands on his waist, his eyes scanning flat 3 like a hawk searching for a prey. Like a hawk searching for prey. Stella came out of her flat when she heard this noise, leaned on the rail of her veranda, holding her Stanley cup in one hand, sipping water from it, and her phone in the other hand. "Oh, sorry, that is my husband's car," she said, but not moving an inch. "But he is busy now. He is inside trading," she said. Bayo's left eyebrow lifted. "Trading what? Parking space? So because he is trading, I shouldn't go to my own business," he said angrily. At that moment, Chuka came out in his blue shorts and white singlets, his phone on his ear again, pretending to be on an important business call. "Yes, enter the market now. Enter now, enter," he said loudly into his earphone. Then said quietly again, "Please hold on a second, I will get back to you." Then he turned to Bayo and said, "Sorry boss, I will move the car now." Bayo gave a stiff nod. "Please do, thank you." Chuka nodded, muttered something under his breath that Bayo did not hear, then entered the car, reversed quickly, and parked directly in the center of the compound, like he was the only one with a steering wheel. From that day, the war over the parking space began. If Chuka parked too close to Bayo's car, Bayo would quietly shift his car at 5 a.m. the next morning, blocking both Chuka's bumper and his peace of mind. If Bimbo came back late and found no space, she would blow her horn non-stop until somebody came out. Sometimes, she wouldn't even enter her house. She would sit on the bonnet, scrolling through Instagram with one eye and watching the windows of flat 3 with the other. One morning, Stella opened her door to see a small note stuck on her car windshield. "This is not your personal garage. Respect other people's space, please," the note said. She hissed loudly and then went inside and brought out her own pen, returned to the car, flipped the notes and also wrote, "Mind your business, and if the shoe fits, wear it." From the window, Bimbo saw the entire drama unfold like a river show. She picked up her own phone and called her friend Esther, whom she had told about the Okafos right from the very first day they moved in. "Esther, you won't believe what this new woman just did," she whispered. "You won't believe she replied my notes. I mean, someone that sells homemade cream inside buckets. Imagine her confidence." The competition did not stop there. Next came the generator war. The Okafos had a big generator. It was old but loyal. Once NEPA took light, it roared like thunder and shook the water tanks. The Alades had a small gen, one of those new silent types, but it was so quiet and causes almost no noise. But then, the Alades were angry about the noise and disturbance coming from the Okafos gen and decided to retaliate by asking a roadside mechanic to touch their generator so it would make noise like the Okafos own. So, one night when NEPA took light at 8:15 p.m. sharp, before the darkness could even settle, Bayo's gen started with a loud noise that shook the windows in the compound. 5 minutes later, Shuka's gen came alive as well. And from then, it became a competition of whose generator makes the loudest noise pollution. And by the third week, the other neighbors in flats 1 and 4, Veronica and Mr. Raymond, could no longer endure it and sent a message to the landlord to help them intervene. "Please, Mr. Okafo, Mr. Alade, fix your generators or get a new one. I can't afford to lose my other tenants because of you too." The landlord sent both men text messages respectively. And that was how the generator war died. But the silent war between the two families continued, from whose guests parked in the wrong spots to who has extremely rotten things in their waste bin and was causing flies to be everywhere, to who shifted the other person's clothes on the rope line. But the one that finally caused a real rift between Bimbo and Stella and made them openly confront each other was one sunny Tuesday afternoon. Bimbo had washed a new sky blue gown fresh from one of her just arrived Turkey collections and spread it carefully on the line. Not long after, Stella came out to also spread her white towels. She came out with a plastic bucket containing bleach and detergent inside, and subconsciously kept the bucket just under the line, unknowingly close to where Bimbo's sky blue dress was dripping. A few minutes later, a slight wind blew and the edge of Bimbo's gown touched the bleach water. An hour 30 minutes later, when Bimbo came out to check her clothes, and there was a white patch on the corner of the clothes, ugly and obvious. Bimbo screamed. She picked the clothes and marched to flat 3, banging on the door. Stella opened that door, half confused, but half uninterested as well, with that kind of I don't care less attitude. "Excuse me," Bimbo began, waving the stained clothes. "What did you do to my clothes? I know it is you because I saw all those your white towels. Did you put bleach on my clothes? Can't you be careful? You've ruined this dress." Stella raised an eyebrow and said, "Wait, what are you even saying? What are you accusing me of?" "I am saying you just ruined one of my goods. This cloth is expensive. It is one of my collection. It is imported," Bimbo shouted. "Oh, really?" Stella said, folding her arms. "Are you sure that it is my bleach that touched it? Maybe you are the one that ruined and bleached it by washing it." "But wait, why are you even washing the clothes you sell? Imported designer clothes, Please, I beg, just shift. Don't come here and be shouting," she said. "Jesus," Bimbo gasped. "So you're not even sorry, eh?" "Sorry for what? I think you're accusing me falsely and I don't like it," Stella said coldly. "See, Madam Stella, I am warning you. I am warning you. Better keep your bleach away from my property next time. My cloth is not your skin or one of those your customers that you bleach with your so-called products," Bimbo barked. I was going to walk away, but what she said was it for Stella. Stella dragged Bimbo back by her clothes and yelled, "Eh? What did you just say? What did you just say about my products? Repeat it again, as if I will not slap your face red here," she said, shouting. And then Bimbo too raised her voice. "Eh? Did you say slap me? Try it. Just try it and see if I will not redesign this your bleached face for you." It was Veronica, who was walking in from outside, that saw the heated arguments and confrontation between the two women and rushed to separate them. That evening, Veronica posted on the WhatsApp group and spoke about the need for peace and harmony to reign between one another in the compound. She spoke about how she and Mr. Raymond in flat 4 had observed and noticed all the silent wars between the Okafos and the Alades, even though they hadn't said anything until now, and begged Chuka and Bayo as men to control the situation and to speak to their wives. Even Veronica's last statement led to a word banter between Chuka and Bayo, as each man typed that his own wife is peaceful and minding their business and that the other should be the one to control their wife. Anyway, Veronica was able to calm the situation and Mr. Raymond settled the banter between the men before everyone logged off online and retired to bed. However, the two families still carried each other on their mind. In fact, from that day, the battle line was clearly drawn between them. It became the real battle of who was better and who was doing well in their business than the other. But now, it was not them doing it physically anymore or crossing each other's path in the compound or with physical words of confrontation, but they took it online to their social media accounts. They greeted each other whenever they walked past each other, but the battle continued subtly on social media. One day, Stella posted a photo standing in front of her ring lights wearing a white robe, her skin glowing with excess body oil, and holding one of her cream jar. Then she captioned it. Some people had sourced so-called designer clothes and called it fashion brand. But me, I create wealth from scratch. We produce confidence. You don't need clothes to shine. You need a good skin too. Hashtag Glow Empire. Hashtag Real Skin Speaks First. She posted it on her WhatsApp status at 6:15 p.m. By 6:43 p.m., Bimbo had seen it and could tell immediately that it was her Stella was shading. And Bimbo, wanting to retaliate, quickly jumped and started editing pictures of her latest collection she had snapped that afternoon, but was too tired to edit and had said she was going to do it the next day. But now, she picked up her phone and started editing them so she would post and reply Stella's shade. When she was done, she captioned it, "Our new collection giving. You don't have to shout to be classy. What is a beautiful skin without an elegant clothes to speak volume? Real women wear real elegance. Hashtag Beams Luxury. Hashtag made with taste." Stella blinked twice when she saw it. She sat up in her bed and muttered, "Oh, see this woman, oh? So she's responding to me now. No problem. We would see who is who in this compound." Then she posted again by 11 p.m. with another glowing photo of her and captioned it, "Even when light goes out, my glow stays on. You either glow or you distract yourself with fabrics. Your skin is what you wear always, but you take off clothes. Hashtag glow empire. Hashtag glowing skin rocks." By 6 a.m. the next morning, Bimbo saw the post. She responded by posting her collections again with a few touches and updates made, and with a caption that says, "True elegance are worn by real women. Beams Luxury. Trusted in Lagos, London and Dubai because class doesn't beg for attention." And that was it. As the days went by, the back and forth continued between the two women like two dancers in a silent dance-off. Each time one posted, the other would mash it within minutes or the next hour. Both never directly copying each other, but always indirectly responding. Even Veronica and Mr. Raymond noticed. Mr. Raymond, who usually minds his business, whispered to Veronica one day and said, "Are these two ever going to rest?" "See, na them sabi, let them continue fooling themselves online," Veronica replied. It even got to the point where one afternoon, Mr. Raymond dropped a joke in the compound WhatsApp group and said, "Maybe we should create a runway in the compound so our influencers and fashionistas can do catwalk properly." No one replied, but the silence was loud. Meanwhile, their husbands, Chuka and Bayo, were also quietly competing online. Chuka would post screenshots of winning trades, talking about financial freedom and making millions while you sleep. Sometimes he even posted records of himself on a call with a supposed broker in London with hashtag that says, "This is how real men make money." Bayo, on the other hand, would counter with pictures of luxury cars he supposedly imported and had sold, with captions like, "Another successful delivery. Only the best for my clients." Then a hashtag that says, "I do real hustle and make clean money, not audio hustle and not audio money." Then one day, a girl called Pamela visited number 17 Greatfield Close, and secrets began to spill. Pamela is Veronica's younger cousin. Pamela is in Lagos State University, but her parents, her mother, Veronica's older aunt, lives in Enugu. Every semester break, Pamela goes home to Enugu, but this time, on this particular break, her parents agreed that Pamela spends it with Veronica. The afternoon after Pamela's visit, she sat outside Veronica's balcony, trimming and filing her nails, when she saw Bimbo across in flat 2. And immediately Pamela saw her, she knew the face was familiar, but at that time, she couldn't remember where she had seen or known Bimbo until later that evening when Bimbo and Stella started their banter on WhatsApp statuses again. And Veronica saw it and said aloud, "These women would not just rest." When Pamela asked which women Veronica was referring to, Veronica told her it was her neighbors in flats 2 and 3, Bimbo and Stella, telling Pamela about the silent war between the two women. As she told Pamela about it, she showed her their WhatsApp status and even some from the previous days and weeks she had screenshots just for laughs. Pamela saw Bimbo's collection and remembered immediately where she had seen Bimbo's face. "Wait, so, Auntie Vero, I know this woman now. I recognize these clothes," Pamela said immediately. This woman comes every time to buy okrika clothes in bulk for my friend's uncle in Balogun Market. Remember my friend and roommate Chioma now, eh? Our uncle sells bale of good London news and second-hand clothes. Chioma takes me there sometimes, and based on relationship now, Chioma's uncle allows us to buy from him in retail pieces, even though he only sells in large quantities and has his special customers. This your neighbor Bimbo is one of his special customers, Pamela told Veronica. But Veronica found it hard to believe Pamela and disagreed with her. No, Bimbo only sells imported designer clothes from Turkey, London and Dubai. They even make and attach our own customized tags from there, Vero said. Sister, this woman has played you all, I am telling you. You see this gown, eh? This gown, Pamela said, taking Vero's phone from her hand and pointing to a dress in Bimbo's WhatsApp catalog. You see this dress, eh? I liked it and I had picked it first, but she begged me to leave it for her and said that her customers would like it. She claimed she has a small okrika boutique in her street. I left the gown for her because Chioma's uncle also asked me to let it go, and I didn't want to offend him. But I remember this gown very well, she said. Sister, and this one too, Pamela continued, pointing to another dress in the collection. This one, I saw her picking it. Then this one, Pamela went on and on. Pamela, no, I can't believe you. Not after how Bimbo packages the clothes and the kind of promotion she does online. Not after how she talked about her brand and calls it exquisite and luxury, Veronica said. Okay, sister, see, if you won't believe me, no problem, but I can give you a proof. Chioma tells me whenever her uncle has new stock bill and we go there immediately. And it is the same time all his special customers like Bimbo also goes to select new stuff. When next I see her, I will secretly record her buying the okrika clothes and take close shots of the clothes as she selects them, Pamela promised. Oh well, as karma would have it, the next morning, Pamela's friend Chioma called to say her uncle now has new stock. Pamela jumped immediately and told Veronica about it. Pamela met up with Chioma and they went straight to Balogun Market. Though, Pamela did not tell Chioma that she had another mission other than buying clothes this time. Well, as Pamela promised to do, she brought out her smartphone, zoomed it, and secretly videoed Bimbo picking and carefully selecting neat and beautiful London used clothes in Chioma's uncle's shop in Balogun Market. Veronica was shocked when she saw the video. So this woman has been using our head though and claiming that it is imported designer clothes that she sells to us. Even me that have patronized her several times. Hey, Jesus, this woman don't run us mugu, Veronica said. This pained Veronica so much, especially as she kept thinking of how very expensive she bought the clothes she bought from Bimbo, believing they were luxury designer clothes. She learned that at most, each of those dresses did not cost more than 12,000 naira in Balogun Market. But the least Bimbo sold a dress for her was 54,000 naira. And the anger even intensified the more when 2 days later, Bimbo had updated her catalog with new stocks. Exactly the same clothes she was picking in Balogun Market in the video Pamela recorded of her. Veronica started thinking if she should confront Bimbo or not. A part of her told her to let Bimbo be, that Bimbo was only hustling smart, and besides, he didn't hurt anyone. But another part of her told her to expose Bimbo because what Bimbo was doing is being deceitful and selling by falsehood. Confused, Veronica picked up her phone to call her best friend in church, who is also a lawyer, to advise her accordingly. Because she was still pained by the ridiculous amount she paid for the dresses she bought from Bimbo. Veronica was making this call in the restroom of a salon where she came to make her hair. Unknown to her, Stella decided to make her hair also that day in that salon and had also rushed to use the restroom immediately she entered the salon. As Stella was about to knock on the restroom of the door, she heard a familiar voice and paused. It didn't take her long to piece things together and knew that it was Veronica that was inside the toilet and that Bimbo was the person Vero was talking to her lawyer friend about. She aired everything, and without thinking twice, Stella rushed to post on her social media status. I heard your so-called designer brand vendors buys London used clothes from Balogun Market, wash and sell to you as designer clothes. You all out there better be careful whom you patronize before you wear used clothes from a dead person, thinking you are wearing a designer cloth from Turkey. Hashtag we give real beauty. Hashtag no fake zone. Hashtag glow empire, her caption said. When Bimbo saw this post, she went numb with fear, realizing that just maybe a rival in the compound may have found out the truth about her. And this time, unlike before, she didn't give a reply post because she was now worried. She just ignored it and only kept posting collections in her catalog, and with just simple caption that says, I am still in the business of giving you elegant outfits. Please patronize me. Meanwhile, Veronica's lawyer friend managed to convince Veronica to let it go. Still, Veronica, even though agreed not to call Bimbo out, confronted her one afternoon. Bimbo begged Vero not to call her out and promised to send her some amount of money as refund. But Stella was happy and kept dropping hot posts to throw Bimbo every day, unaware that her own karma was coming as well. And it was Pamela who exposed her as well. That evening, Pamela, who was looking for a precious necklace, thought maybe she must have mistakenly put it in the waist bag without knowing, after searching the entire house and not seeing it. So, she decided to go check the communal waste bin just outside the compound where she had dropped the waste bag she trashed an hour ago. As she stepped outside the compound, she saw Stella as well, returning from trashing a waste also. Pamela, while using a stick to search for her own waste bag she trashed an hour earlier, the stick pierced the polythene bag with the waste Stella had just trashed as well, tearing it open. Pamela saw that the waste contents were Stella Beauty's products, things she used in preparing her supposed organic products. But something caught Pamela's attention. She saw that Stella destroyed the product containers by cutting them into pieces. However, it seemed as though she forgot or maybe didn't completely destroy one. It was a container of a popular cosmetic product, a popular body lotion. Pamela saw the label and was able to piece together the other ones Stella had properly cut. There were many of them. Wait, so could this woman be using another person's products and claiming it is her own natural organic product by packaging them into her own container? Pamela wondered. That was how the curiosity started. She started watching Stella closely, monitoring her to know when she would be making another batch of her so-called organic skincare products. When she senses from across Veronica's flat that Stella was in the kitchen after seeing the kitchen lights turned on, she would rush and tiptoe to peep to see what Stella was doing. But for the first 4 nights, she didn't see anything. She just saw Stella cooking normally. However, on the 5th night, she saw it. Stella had quite some containers of that popular body lotion. She opened them one after the other, poured them into a large bowl, then started pouring in cornstarch powder, a few quantity of cooking vegetable oil, and plenty of water, and mixed everything together with the body lotion to increase the quantity in the bowl. And after she was done, she began packaging them in her own container. And then, even her so-called rose water was another popular product by someone else. She adds water to it with a few drops of different fragrance and repackage it into her own container. Same thing for the serums. Pamela brought out her phone secretly and quietly recorded everything. And even as she recorded them, she was shocked and speechless as to the level of Stella's deceit. Well, this time, unlike Bimbo's own, Pamela chose to post it online, and Veronica supported. The general public has to know the truth. This can destroy people's skin and cause serious skin infections. So we can't keep quiet on this one, Veronica said. By the morning of the next day, the video went viral. Stella woke up to people on social media trolling and calling her out. Both those who had patronized her before and those who hadn't. People who have patronized came out to say that they suspected that her products were fake, but Stella kept urging them to buy more and telling them that the perfect skin they desire takes process and time because it is original. Many people tagged the NAFDAC agency and called them to hunt and stop Empire Glow Skincare. Even the company of the product she secretly buys and used to mix her own fake organic products, threatened to sue her for infringement and abusing their products. Stella stared at everything and the comments on her phone with tears welled up in her eyes. Karma had caught up with her also, and her own seems even worse than that of Bimbo. This time, it was Bimbo's turn to post and troll. Some people call others fake, whereas they are the real face of everything fake you can imagine, she posted on her social media statuses and reels. Well, Stella was fined heavily by NAFDAC agency after a lab testing of the remaining of her products and was confirmed to be unhealthy for the skin. It was revealed, as Stella confesses, that she does not use her own products herself, but buy other better products to make her own skin look flawless without adding any of those mixtures she adds for the public. And that she also uses filters to make her look flawless on camera. Empire Glow Skincare was banned. In fact, Stella was banned completely from ever selling any cosmetic in the future, even if it were to be genuine. And then, just as Stella's issue was dying down after she had been released that morning, two angry men appeared with some policemen in the compound to arrest Bayo for consistently selling bad car parts to them. It was revealed that Bayo buys bad car parts from local scavengers, and without fixing properly even the parts that needed to be fixed, he repaints or spray them and sell, claiming that they are foreign used spare parts he imported. Oh well, someone who had also been suspecting Bayo after Bayo had sold parts that didn't take time to rust over and over time again to him, trailed him for days and videoed him buying parts from local scavengers and repainting them. It was also revealed that all the cars Bayo poses with and claimed he sold successfully were all lies and pictures he posed and took in different car shops. With this evidence, Bayo was arrested as well and made to pay back a huge part of all the money he collected through dubiously doing business. So, both husband and wife, Bimbo and Bayo, were dubious in their business dealings. Again, just when Veronica and Mr. Raymond thought they had seen it all with their neighbors, Stella's husband, Mr. Shuka, went viral also the following week after he was called out by a few young guys who were tired of losing huge amounts of money to forex trades that Shuka keeps asking them to put money into, aside even the 500,000 naira cash he collected from each of them to teach them forex and crypto. The young men came for him as well after calling him out and demanded that he refunded their money. Other young men came out also and speak up as well, calling Chuka a fraud. It was revealed that Chuka also had no knowledge on forex and crypto and only deceived people with screenshots from other professional forex and crypto experts. He will edit the screenshots and put his own name, and the money he collected from the young men to teach them was him gathering money for himself to secretly learn forex and crypto himself so he could start making money because he was broke and was never making any money online as he claimed. At the end of it all, Veronica and Mr. Raymond, the only two people doing genuine business and without drama in number 17 Gradefield Close, looked at each other on a calm, quiet evening as they stood in the middle of the compound and asked each other, "What manner of neighbors do we have?" Well, Bimbo, seeing how karma was reaching everyone one by one and would have almost exposed her as well, if not that Veronica decided to keep quiet, decided that she would change and come out clean about her business. With great difficulty, she typed as she came clean and told everyone that the clothes she sold to them were not imported. Well, even though somehow they are imported because, major or quicker clothes or okay or thrift clothes as some call it, are imported foreign use clothes. She revealed that she selects good ones, wash, iron, and puts her own tag on them with good packaging. Some people trolled her as well when they heard this, but some people forgave her and commended her for coming out to say the truth. They even commended her for the effort she puts into selecting such beautiful collection and the effort of her packaging. So, these people showed their support and decided to continue patronizing her. Bimbo felt relaxed after everything and was glad that she spoke the truth. As for the Okafos, they had lost everything and buried their faces in shame and could not come out. Bayo as well, he was happy for his wife but felt ashamed himself. He told himself that he was going to search for a legitimate job so as to keep providing as the head of the house. Stella and Shuka also began thinking of what legitimate business to do to get money before their rent expires and they are kicked out. But until then, peace was restored to number 17 Great Field Close. No more silent wars, no more social media banter and clapbacks. The Alades and the Okafos buried their faces in shame and everyone minded their business. The end.